Join me as I dive deep into the chilling murders that rocked Texas in 1966 and see if I can uncover the clues that left investigators speechless. A year of great change, 1966 saw a series of mysterious murders take the state of Texas by storm, leaving law enforcement and the community absolutely baffled. These unsolved crimes would go on to haunt the people of Texas for decades to come, and today we're going to delve into the details that made them so unforgettable. In the midst of the 1960s cultural revolution, the people of Texas were gripped with fear as a string of seemingly unconnected murders took place, claiming the lives of many innocent victims. Without a shred of evidence, investigators were left scratching their heads trying to pinpoint a motive or a suspect. The lack of concrete leads made it difficult for them to get a foothold in the cases, leaving the public on edge. As the body count continued to rise, so did the sense of unease that settled over the state. The absence of any leads or breakthroughs only added to the frustration, and the people of Texas began to wonder if these murders would ever be solved. Adding to the challenges faced by investigators was the palpable sense of fear that permeated every corner of Texas. People were reluctant to come forward with information, fearing for their own safety, and the police were left with a wall of silence. The community was paralyzed with fear, and the unsolved murders hung like a dark cloud over the state. As the cases dragged on, the police continued to struggle, and the people of Texas were left to wonder if justice would ever be served. In 1966, 3 murders in particular caught the attention of the public and the press. The shooting of a young couple in a desolate lover's lane, the brutal stabbing of a single mother, and the mysterious disappearance of a group of teenagers all left investigators baffled. Each case was unique, with its own set of peculiar circumstances, and yet, there seemed to be an ominous thread that linked them all. As we delve deeper into the details, it becomes clear that these murders were not just random acts of violence but were, in fact, a manifestation of a far more sinister force at play. The more you learn about the cases, the more you realize how eerily ordinary the victims were. They were ordinary people living ordinary lives, and yet, they found themselves in the crosshairs of a ruthless killer. The young couple, who had just graduated from college, was enjoying a romantic evening when their lives were cruelly cut short. The single mother, who had just started a new job, was found brutally murdered in her home, leaving behind 2 young children to fend for themselves. And the group of teenagers who had set out on a camping trip vanished into thin air, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. As you listen to the witness accounts and interviews, you can't help but feel a sense of empathy for the victims and their families, who were left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives. The social climate of the time also played a significant role in shaping the narrative of the cases. It was an era of great change, with the civil rights movement gaining momentum and the Vietnam War looming large on the horizon. The people of Texas were caught in the midst of a cultural revolution, and the tension was palpable. It was an era of great upheaval, and the murders seemed to be a manifestation of this underlying unrest. As you delve deeper into the cases, you begin to realize that they were not just random acts of violence but were, in fact, a reflection of the darker side of human nature. The most shocking twist in these cases, the one that left investigators speechless, was the discovery of a mysterious letter, penned by the killer himself. It was a taunting, cryptic message that seemed to revel in the detectives' frustration. The letter, which was sent to the local police department, seemed to be a deliberate attempt to mislead the investigation, leading the detectives on a wild goose chase. It was a masterclass in psychological manipulation, and it sent chills down the spines of everyone involved in the case. The letter, which was later released to the public, sparked a flurry of speculation and theories, but the truth behind its meaning remains a mystery to this day. As we summarize the key points discussed today, we're left with more questions than answers. The murders of 1966 remain one of the most baffling unsolved crimes in Texas history, and the lack of closure continues to haunt the victims' families to this day. The cases are a stark reminder that sometimes justice is not always served and the truth remains elusive. Thanks for watching, and if you have any thoughts on these cases, please share them in the comments below. If you're interested in more unsolved mysteries from history, be sure to check out our next video, where we'll be exploring another intriguing case that will leave you on the edge of your seat.